We know all about crises. We have a drug crisis. We have an immigration crisis. We have an inequality crisis. We have a security crisis. We have a trade crisis. We have a climate crisis. It's crisis all the way down. So I hate to add to the list, but we have one serious, totally unforeseen energy crisis. And if we don't work fast, we're going to be overwhelmed by it. We need every form of energy available, not gas, wind, geothermal, hydro. What we most need, of course, is nuclear power. Crisis comes down to the fact that we had no real industrial growth in this country for decades, so we haven't had to build much energy infrastructure. Now, all of a sudden, these data centers start coming online, like the ones that will be part of Stargate, the Oracle, SoftBank, OpenAI project, not the Kurt Russell movie, by the way. And these data centers consume insane amounts of electricity. It's a level of demand that nobody saw coming. So after years where we spent more time decommissioning power plants and building new ones, we suddenly got to go back into growth mode. As you heard earlier in the show, GE Vernova is pulling forward plans to build and reopen nuclear plants at considerable cost. You've heard about the reopening of one of the 3 Mile Island reactors. Now there's talk about finishing 2 nuclear plants in South Carolina that were stopped because of hideous cost overruns. These plants, initiated in 2008, were so hard to build that in 2017 they just kind of threw up their hands and gave up. Now, Santee Cooper is soliciting bids due in May to rebuild these state-owned plants. A fortune, maybe they get it. But nukes are still pie in the sky, people. Now, there is this other fuel that's in the here and now, but it's a pure horror show to almost everyone. I'm the only one willing to go there. Let's talk coal. When the president gave his inaugural address on Monday, he declared a national emergency aiming to produce more domestic fossil fuels, including coal. Once the mainstay in utility fuel, coal has been phased out year after year after year because it is terrible for the environment. 10 years ago, coal-based fuel was responsible for about 33% of electricity. Now it's fallen to 15%. Part of that's environmental regulations. Part of it a lot because the utilities generally prefer cheaper natural gas. But man, if we're going to turn on decommissioned nuclear plants, something that was unimaginable a few years ago, and Rusty Brazil is right about the price of natural gas going higher, then I think coal will have to go back into the mix, and the decline in its use may actually be over. It doesn't hurt, by the way, that Wyoming, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania, the big 3 coal states, Trump rewards those who went with him. Those states are about to reap what the voters sowed. Who's the winner? It's hard, as the coal cohort is made up of companies that mine coal for steel production and others that mine coal for utilities. But the latter's been such a dog for so long that the U.S. companies have tried to merge their way into steel-making coal and to lessen exposure to utilities. Peabody Energy and Core Natural Resources are the big ones. I think they're cheap, but they trade more like steel companies than coal companies. But then there's another company called Alliance Resources Partners, LP. It's a master limited partnership that's the largest coal producer in the eastern United States. Incredibly profitable company, sells at less than 9 times earnings, as befits a slow to no-growth enterprise. And it's not undiscovered because coal prices have actually done well thanks to overseas demand. All that said, this market embraces anything energy. That means coal will soon be back, and it makes a lot more sense now that coal is a champion in the White House. If you hear coal mentioned by the president, and it's picked up by the mean people, Alliance Resources will be the one people will grab because it's a master limited partnership. It has a terrific 10% yield, but the yield's only that high because people think that the payout needs to be cut. May well be true, but under this president, coal could have a renaissance. That's called a renaissance. Sure, coal's time has come and gone, but it will come again because the data center-inspired energy crisis really is so pressing that there's not really a choice anymore. Yes, the demand is that great. We so foolishly multiple good nuke plants that it wouldn't surprise me if coal's long decline may have finally run its course. I like to say there's always a bull market somewhere. I promise I'll find it just for you right here on Mad Money. I'm Jim.